someone out there. Freedom does not come without individual responsibility. So whether it's freedom of speech, limited speech, whatever you're talking about surrounding freedom, make sure you understand that those words you speak that come from your mouth, they do have consequences. Kamisha Monica, everybody, and this message is for someone out there. All right, welcome to the Las Vegas Tribune News, local news and online music and entertainment. Now, let me tell you, I know I got 4 things to tell you about what you're going to do when you come to Vegas this week, and it's cold Vegas, so make sure you have a jacket and not just your flip-flops. Have a jacket, some earmuffs. I don't know, 40 degrees, 50 degrees for me, that's cold. So if you can withstand that weather, come on down. Now, I have to tell you something. Yesterday, I went to the MLK parade. And when I tell you, I really enjoyed myself on King Day, but all hell broke loose, literally. And I'll tell you why. So, parade's going on, people are dancing, boom, 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 boom. And next thing you know, the rain strikes. It started off sprinkling, then the wind, and then much more rain. I thought it was going to thunderstorm, but the next thing that came was the hail. And that was literally all hell breaking loose. But nevertheless, let me tell you how strong these kids are. And the people that were there at the parade. And I want to thank everybody for coming out to the parade. But they marched through it all. They marched through it all. So I want you guys to understand how important this day was. I thought to myself, our ancestors marched through it all. And here I was, running from rain. You know, we really have to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. But shout out to everybody that came out to the King's Day Parade. I loved it. I mean, you guys were excellent. And now it's time for Oh, wait. I just forgot. Not all King's Day parades turned out like the one that was in Las Vegas. I assure you. Now in Florida, I have to bring this up. In Florida, after a parade, 8 were shot, 1 critically injured. This is crazy, right? And it was supposed to be like a family event and a car show. And the police stated that shots were firing from 2 different locations. Anyways, why is that happening on King's Day? Yeah, I have a problem with it. This is a fun show. It's an entertainment show, but we're not going to act like we don't know what's going on in the world. 2, Damar Hamlin. Well, if you did remember, a couple weeks ago, I reported that he got injured. Actually, he collapsed, went into cardiac arrest. Well, he's back to, I guess, recovering now. He's home, but he's also not stopping there. He filed 3 trademarks. 1, did we win? 2, 3 is back. And number 3, you've won for life. Hey, you know what? That just shows how strong he is. That all of his business partners are making sure his business is being done. Still. No shade here. All right, everybody. 4 things you could do in Las Vegas, in cold Vegas this week. I got Mandalay Bay. If you go to Mandalay Bay, there's a shark reef. The reason I bring up this shark entertainment, it's called Shark Reef Aquarium. I bring it up simply because I know people bring kids to Vegas. So that's one thing you can do if you're bringing children to Vegas. Second, you can also go on a date. I mean, I don't know who would want to go on a date there, but I would. So I'm giving them some suggestions out there. Not everybody wants to go to a bar. You know what I mean? Number 2. Have you ever been to Resorts World Gatsby Lounge? It is really beautiful in there. It's a nice place to go on a date too, but to be honest with you, it is also a really nice place, nice atmosphere. And the girls in there, they come out in these beautiful pink glittery dresses. Oh man, it's to die for. So that's another place you might want to go when you get here. Chris Angel, Mind Freak, of course, that's always going on. A magic show is always nice to see. I know some people, complain about the tickets being expensive, but here's the deal. You're probably not going to come back to Vegas for maybe 6 months or a year, or maybe 2 to 3 years. So when you come here, make sure you're prepared to ball out and go big or go home, basically. So all I'm saying is this. You can catch some magic with Chris Angel. Last but not least, the Mob Museum. I'm not talking about the Mob Museum actually going there. I'm talking about going under the Mob Museum to the Speakeasy. Now, you do have to, I'm not sure if you still have to pay. When I went, I can't remember if I paid, but it's a nice place to get photos. Like, they actually have like that Superman booth from a long time ago. I don't know, is that 60 years ago? I'm not sure. But they have the booth down there where you can take pictures. They have a lot of mob cultural things within the Speakeasy. So make sure you check that out. And just to be clear, that's like on Stewart when you're in downtown Las Vegas. Now, this is what I've really been waiting for. And I know I rushed that again, but I got a guess. I got a guess today. And this young man, we became friends. I'm not going to lie to you. We became friends, I believe, at a hookah lounge. And I found out so many things about him that I thought he would make a perfect guest for the show. Now, I will say this. He may be a little controversial for some and may have even found himself in trouble. But here's the thing. It's my belief that he has the right intention and motivation. Now, how he goes about doing that, I don't know if it's suitable for everyone's liking. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to be. But here's the thing. My guest today is Nephi Kaliki. He runs massive CCW events for people who want to be gun owners, and he's really into gun safety. So, you know what? We're going to go pay some bills. And I want you guys to come right back so you can hear this conversation, because it's important for you to know today, for tomorrow, and for the safety of your children if you're on that side of the gun revolution. I don't know. We're going to pay some bills. Everybody, make sure you come back and click in.
Hi, I'm George Miklos.
Hi, I'm Rick Upchurch.
Hi, I'm Aaron Phillips, and we are
The Round Table. Check us out.
Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Time Live.
On Facebook page as well as WWDBTV.
How would you like to temporarily cripple your creditors so you could buy time to protect yourself to achieve whatever it is that you need to do? Just like using a stun gun with scenes from a James Bond movie, this video will show you what you can do and learn free information on 13 dirty secrets to trump the creditors and survive in today's world. Do you feel like the walls are caving in on you, overwhelmed by debt and bills? No matter what you do, your world seems to be crashing down on you. What if we could stop, slow down, or freeze time, allowing you to find the right solution? Do you feel that every time you see a light at the end of the tunnel, it's really a train coming at you? What if I could show you how to legally derail that train? You've probably felt as though your opportunities are limited because you don't quite fit into any viable option. Almost as though you're a square peg trying to fit into a round hole, while facing upcoming foreclosures, repossessions, legal matters, or collections. Maybe the answer is simpler than you think, but you can't put things together while drowning in stress and deadlines. What if I could show you how to trump the creditors and monsters that are pulling down on you? It doesn't matter where you live, or how much money you have or don't, your job or your assets. There is a legal way to buy time so you can stop, slow down, or freeze your current situation, allowing you to avoid stress and save money.
All right, we're back. Las Vegas Tribune News, local news and music, online and in entertainment. Hey, everybody, my guest is here. My guest is here, Nephi Kaliki. Nephi, I'm so happy that you're here. How are you today?
I know, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, actually,
I
huh?
know.
Has it been about 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months?
Not that long, but too long.
Too long? I know,
Life
right?
happens, right?
Life happens. So, Mr. Nephi here. Actually, I didn't bring up your music aspect, the music aspect of you first. This is what I told you we are going to talk about first. Now, you were Nephi showed me a video one day, and it was like a band playing, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my band," and I'm like, "Where are you?" And he was playing and singing at the same time. Nephi, where does your music genius come from? Or where did it start?
I've been involved in music since I was like 10, 11 years old. People think I'm a gun guy. I'm not. A gun is just a tool to protect who you are and what you are. I've been a musician my whole life, and been a professional songwriter for a long time. I've written for a lot of artists, and the band you're referring to was Soul on Fire, and it was 11-piece band.
What does that mean?
11 players, 11 master players.
Oh, wow.
And we sold out to Smith Center, and Cuba Gooding Sr. Sang my intermissions, and him and I became really good friends over the years. His son, Thomas Gooding, played bass for me, and George Malou funded our recordings for our album, and I love music. I mean, that's really my thing. But there are things going on in the world right now, and I have other skill sets, but I think are more helpful to people right now.
Than the music.
Well, I miss it. I still do it, but I feel like I need to fulfill this calling, with helping prepare people to protect themselves. And then, what's there to sing about if everybody's hiding in their houses, scared to death?
Well, you not only sing or do music, but you also love comedy. Now, which do you prefer, music or comedy?
Oh, comedy's just my personality. I can't help but see like the irony in everything, or the dirty joke. Like, did you see that? It's just sitting right there. Like, the dirty joke is always in the air. In the air.
No, I think it's always in the air for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I see both sides.
You see both sides of the dirt. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see something. I go, you could twist that just a little and make it dirty.
Yeah.
And I do. Yeah. And, my mother, if my mother ever heard how I really talk, her ears would literally melt off the side of her head.
Mom, are you listening?
Nope.
I hope you're listening.
She don't have internet.
She don't. What?
Nope.
You don't got the internet you didn't get the internet. Your guitar is so crazy.
She lives in Utah. I don't think anybody in there has internet.
No.
Still sending smoke signals.
No, it's not that ancient, but I have been in Utah. I have been there, and it was kind of like.
You'd be popular in Utah.
No.
Yours was called a novelty.
No, in Utah. I was called a novelty in Sydney, Australia, too, so I know what you're talking about, but we're not going to go there today. That's for another show. Now, comedy. You do CCW events. Tell them what that is, and tell them who you are in reference to gun control, gun safety, and what they need to know about owning a firearm.
Well, first of all, we set a world record in 2018 for the largest CCW class in U.S. history. It was accidentally successful. I really thought it was just going to be like 100, 200 people. Nope. 14,000 people signed up. Yeah. And to get a permit. But this is, mind you, was after 1 October, so people, they were already warmed up a little, right? And I was only planning on doing one class because I was running Las Vegas gunfights, and we were doing the full contact MMA with rubber bullets sport, and then I got messed with by the government over doing these classes, so that made me mad.
Okay.
And so I'm like, you don't want everybody to have their permits? Why not? Like, a person has a right to defend themselves, and you have to determine what that is by what is the enemy carrying.
Okay.
All right? You need to have something that can, at least give you a fighting chance to beat them. So I decided I was going to build the biggest, baddest, most successful CCW program in the state, and I've done it. I think according to Google.
Congratulations.
Thank you. According to Google, there's the closest competitor to Vegas CCW is like 78 points behind me.
Wow.
I've over 22,000 students now, and we've done what they feared in the first class was, I think, oh, he's organizing, he's got a movement, he's got a whole bunch of people going to get these permits. We got to stop it. And so by trying to stop me, I did exactly what they were afraid I was going to do. But it's their fault because they attacked me. So there's no stopping. We've done 4
Okay, when you say
CCW.
who's
they?
Dude, like, is that like a
Capital T, right?
Okay.
They, like the government.
My teacher used to. I took a political science class. My teacher used to always say, "They." When you guys refer to they, tell us who they is.
They, CIA.
Oh
FBI.
hell! They tried to stop you. All those people.
No,
Okay.
just our local.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drop any names because we're done fighting for now.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick it back up. But the powers that be in our local government saw it as a threat. Because you can get elected with 14,000 people who are willing to see you show up.
In Las Vegas,
yeah,
for sure.
So we've done 4 mass events since then, and the reason I do this is, number one, you've got 8 hours to influence someone. Now, I don't believe that's enough for what a person needs to carry a gun. It's a way more time they need to put in than that. So how do I take and give them concentrated orange juice, right? How do I make sure that I have as much impact as possible, because they can be a liability to themselves in a failure, or meaning they lose the fight with a bad guy, or it doesn't accomplish the goal they set out to do. Most of them say, well, I want to make sure that if something happens, I can protect myself. Well, it starts here. And so I do things to shock people and to get them to listen. Enrage to engage is something I've used before in the past. For people to retain information, you got to attach it to something so it sticks. Okay. And there are several concepts. Now, I'm not that popular with the gun industry, right?
I know.
They're upset at me, right?
I know.
Not for only the reasons you would think, but because I call them out for selling false confidence.
Okay.
You say, oh, I'm really concerned about my safety, and the gun industry's like, get a gun. Like the devil tempting you with the poison apple,
Yeah.
Is that really helping? Because there isn't just, I'm worried about safety, gun. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes in between that. And one of the things that, I try to help people understand is how to really assess a true threat.
Okay. Wow. Can you give us maybe a point?
Absolutely. This would probably be a peripatetic moment for most people, not realize that when you're assessing your personal safety and the threats that may come in and out of your space, what engine do people use to determine what's a threat and what's not?
I think for me, if I have to feel some type of fear first.
But that fear is based on what?
It could be, depending on the situation, because if I don't know someone and like you got xenophobia, that's a fear of people from other cultures and things like that. So my fear, if it's like a threat, we're talking about someone's gonna hurt me, I probably would either have to see them raising their hand, charging at me, or...
So that's pretty imminent.
Really?
Oh yeah, if they raise their hand at you, that's an imminent threat.
Okay.
But leading up to that, how somebody determines whether they feel safe or not, it's based on their association with other types of things that have resulted in that. For example, if you got bit by a dog, you see a dog, you're going to have a little bit of fear and trepidation over that. That's associative. But what most people don't realize is that what they use to determine threat, no threat, is stereotypes. Oh, look at the way they're dressed. Look how they're walking. Look how they're talking. And this is a very, very dangerous thing in the world of guns, because that's how people get shot who don't need to be shot.
Profiling.
Well, yes,
Sorta.
it's the same thing,
Okay.
but profiling is when law enforcement does it.
Oh, well,
Stereotyping is what regular folks do.
got it.
So that's a very big liability in the profiling world in law enforcement and stereotyping in, regular society at large. This is a problem that I'm most concerned about. And an individual not correctly assessing a threat, discharging their weapon out of fear, and then finding out, oh my God, it was a cell phone, or it was, yes, they were a biker, but it was a Christian biker group, because they're basing everything on stereotypes. Because what do they have?
Yeah.
So in order for me to teach that principle, it's very difficult, because I have a lot of minorities in my class. I'm the most mixed class anywhere in Southern Nevada. And whenever I'm talking about what you do as a CCW permit holder when you get pulled over, is you do A, B, C, and D. And then, of course, all the black folks raise their hand and well, how does that apply to the black community? And then the Hispanics, well, how does that apply to the Hispanic community? And I was always saying, it's the same. And they're like, no, you don't know what it's like to be young and black in America. And I was like, fair enough. You don't know what it's like to be young and Afghan in America. You don't get messed with on airplanes. Right?
Well, what do you think, we're getting on airplanes every day? Yeah,
Well,
technically, yeah. We are. Go ahead, Nephi.
The point is we have to evaluate things in real time. And teaching a person a skill to evaluate correctly, this is what we're trying to accomplish with law enforcement, right? Because they're shooting people, little kids with fake guns, or they're shooting people with wallets and oops, well, he reached for something. Yeah, you asked him for his driver's license and it was in the car, so he reaches around to get it. You shoot him when he was complying, right? There's a lot of things that happen through mistake of fact shootings. In the civilian world, a mistake of fact shooting would be devastating, because you don't have law enforcement backing you up, and you maybe not get in trouble for it, but it's a big deal. It's huge. I don't have a problem with self-defense and firearms in any area except that one where you accidentally or mistakenly shoot the wrong person.
Okay.
It's a very big issue. Okay. So I needed something very big to make that point stick.
Okay.
Especially whenever since, it's different for each racial group. And I said, well, fine, I'll write gun safety rules for everybody's group.
And is that where your comedy came in and got you in trouble?
Yeah, it got me in trouble, but I made the point.
Oh, Nephi, you made a point, and you gun safety for black people, lick the chicken grease off your fingers before you...
Isn't that a good idea, though?
So you think we're gonna be eating chicken first before we
you know what?
Pick up
Somebody came in my class. He came in my class. He was a black gentleman, and I said, "How'd you find out about the class?" And he goes,
"Oh, he started."
And I go, "Oh, I see."
I'm not gonna lie. There were a lot of people that were laughing at it, but there was a lot of people that were offended. And you made
why I can't not offend them? Because that's the same thing. And I'm gonna call you on your stuff right now.
Yeah.
Because we sat at the hookah lounge and I was busting out jokes about everything.
And I hated to laugh, and I was laughing, right? I was like, Nephi, let me be transparent. Nephi was joking, and it's all four of us. So it's a Hispanic at the table,
Filipino
at the table, I'm at the table, and Nephi's at the table. And Nephi's throwing out jokes, and I felt a little bit on the inside like I shouldn't have been laughing. I was like, I should not be laughing. Nephi, no more jokes from you. But I understand his sense of humor, but not everybody takes it that way.
It's okay to offend someone.
Is it?
It is okay, because remember, in everything in life, contrast is where the real meaning comes. In music, for example, you have, your basic 1/4 changes, and the low parts of a song, and then you got to have that tension. and then you resolve that tension, and then you have the bridge where you really create tension, and then you resolve it. So it's okay to create tension as long as you resolve it. If I'm trying to get someone's attention about something, sometimes you need to offend them. I can tell you there's a lot of people out there that have tendencies towards racism that need to be shocked a little bit, right? Because change is caused by an emotional experience. And so I try to create that in a song, in theater, in art, which this show is about entertainment. Everything has to have a good guy and a bad guy. It's got to have a storyline. What's their conflict? What's their challenge?
Yeah.
And that's life.
Yeah.
Is to be able to highlight what's the problem and then create that tension and then resolve it. Everybody leaves there knowing how much I love them.
Okay.
Because that's how guys, you girls, you go to the bathroom with each other.
Yeah.
We talk smack on each other.
Yeah.
Like, because we can't flirt like that. We can't sit close on the couch. Like, ew, go away. Ew.
Yeah,
right?
for
guys,
sure.
Guys can't bond like that. Right? So,
I mean, they
what
can.
do we do is, man, look at your stupid
They
shirt.
can't. Who's judging?
Well, I'm talking about men, like with the capital M.
Oh, God, the alpha male stuff. Okay.
Not alpha.
Now,
Just, proud of who we are.
okay, well, I got to talk to you about this. So, in the midst of you having your feelings about how to operate within gun safety and using comedy as a way to get your point across, you lost a lot and then had to fight to gain it back. This is why, I talk about, freedom of speech a little bit earlier. Nephi, what was that, not going too deep into it, but what was that, how did that make you feel, and how do you feel coming out of that on the other side?
I've had tremendous opportunities since that day. Because, they tried to cancel me and the whole left
Oh,
wing.
you got canceled?
No, I didn't get canceled.
You was canceled
Cancellation
for a couple months.
is a choice. No, I got suspended by the police department for 191 days. Now, they didn't suspend me for 191 days. They tried to go after me forever. Like, shut my Metro certifications down completely. But I was right. So I fought them. And that fight, I won a lot of people's respect. I'm probably the only CCW instructor that's been suspended and got reinstated.
Okay.
And the other sheriffs in Nevada are the ones that said, no, reinstate him. Because the point is still First Amendment. And if you look at my ratings and the things that my students have to say,
Yeah, I met some of your
Vanessa
students.
Murphy from Channel 13, she tried to come out there to the same hookah lounge, and she was trying to say, that this is racist. And I go, no, there were racial jokes. You'd have to be racist for them to be racist jokes.
Okay.
And they're relevant. They're written specifically for that class.
Okay.
And everybody, right? I didn't cover all the jokes I told about everybody, like Middle Eastern people. Keep your finger off the trigger till ready to detonate.
You see what I'm saying?
Be sure of your target before flying into it.
You see?
It can't be just one group.
Right. Well, that's true. I saw his slides, and he didn't let go of anyone. Everybody. He had his foot on everybody's neck, and that's honestly true. But it was certain groups that were like, absolutely no. Not
in the group. I don't care about anyone outside of the classroom. If my students, they're the only ones that can influence me to say, Nephi, maybe you need to tone that back a little. But they're in the full experience and the context of what I'm trying to teach, and they get it. They never forget. People who see it from the outside and see a little clip, I don't care about their opinion because it wasn't for them. And this idea of trying to silence people is very dangerous, because if there's racism out there, and there is, I've experienced it myself, don't shut them up. Let them talk.
I kind of follow that.
How are you
sentiment
gonna
right there.
find them?
Yeah.
If you don't, you just
don't know who they are?
drive them underground, and now you have these undercurrents in society that are just messing people up, and you don't know where to fire a shot to defend yourself.
Yeah.
That's why free speech was important in the government, in our founding documents, because number one, if people don't have an opportunity to get out their frustrations and speak, they're going to pressure cook and just go to war, right?
Okay.
And B, things aren't going to get resolved. Transparency's not going to be there. It should never be just one side, and that's where we exist now in cancel culture, is censorship. And censorship is very, very dangerous because it drives whatever disease in society, and I mean like a moral disease or, you know, like racism is a disease of thought.
Yeah.
It drives it further down. And now how do I fix it if I can't see it?
So, using comedy, using stereotypes in your classes, you believe it's getting the message across?
Absolutely.
It's helping to get the message across, right?
Absolutely. Okay. I'm the #1 rated show in Vegas for CCW.
Okay.
And it's because, you know, and I sent you that video, and I don't even know that guy. I don't even know where he's from. He's a young black man that got all teary when I give a speech about racism after I tell the jokes, right? Because, I mean, it's kind of dumb. I mean, who's an Afghan going to be racist towards? Like, we're bottom of the heap right now, you know?
I'm not laughing at that. Okay.
But that doesn't affect my self-esteem. Because, you know, like, I'm not ashamed. I'll wear my kufiya anywhere. And some of my Middle Eastern friends, they start going by different names like Sam when their name is Muhammad. Or they start, you know, dumbing down the culture. And I'm like, don't be a little sissy. Like, stand up for your culture, because it doesn't change by you. If people hide from their culture.
I can't hide.
You can't hide
all
it.
of this.
It's real makeup.
Yeah, all of this. All of this. This is real. It ain't all makeup. Go ahead.
Well, let's say like Native Americans. Mm-hmm. They used to force them, to punish them not to speak their native language, to take their culture and strip it from them. And these are the things we've dealt with in society, and the social pressure for me not to get on an airplane like this, which actually I don't. Because out of respect for other people, I'm not going to wear my kufiya on an airplane, because there's a lot of dumb, ignorant people out there, and that are going to be uncomfortable. Plus, my personality, I'm going to make people nervous. That's my choice to do that, and I want to make sure people have the right mindset when they go about carrying a gun. And the funny thing is, it's the most dangerous permit that the government issues. And there's no follow-up. Once you get the permit, it's like, good luck, hope you don't commit any crimes in the next 5 years, come renew in 5 years. There's no aftercare, there's no support.
Wow. Okay.
That's why I'm starting the show on KDON.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got nothing but opportunities from it, not because everyone saw the jokes and go, he's done for. I mean, they mentioned my jokes during the gubernatorial debates for the governor.
I know.
I was like, uh-oh.
At that time, at that particular event, you had candidates in there too. So
I had the mayor of North Las Vegas. I had all the candidates for governor, Congress, Senate. But that's what my classes do. Is they're big enough that they attract like everybody. It's like, if I'm going to get my permit, I'm going to get it from him, because it's once every 5 years, and it's fun. I have students that don't have to take the class. They've come to all 4 of our mass events. They're like, I just want to see what he's going to say next.
Okay.
But and it's not always going to be on the race thing. I'm going to say it about whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're just kind of...
I run my own show. I'm not letting anybody tell me what I can and can't say. In fact, if you tell me I can't say something, watch. I'm going to write something for that. Because I'm not going to have anybody...
You're such a rebel.
...boot on my neck. No, I'm not a rebel. Mm-hmm. It's standard.
Okay.
That's your right to say and think and believe. And it's important that people have the right to also be wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's how the exchange... And social media treats people like they're stupid. You can't think for yourself, therefore I'm going to have a fact checker there to back you up. No, the discovery of truth happens through
dialogue,
the process of being wrong. Let somebody be wrong. Give them the information, because it's not going to stick if you just give them the answers to the tests.
Right.
You're not going to understand the Bible unless you pray about the Bible.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that real conversion.
Okay.
Right? Unless you have the opportunity to say, you know, I thought this way one time and now I don't think that way.
Yeah. There's room for that. So I that's something that I would like people to really listen to. I'm glad you made that point, because some people believe that they get stuck with their old thoughts, but we're all growing every day. So, you know, we have to be able to forgive, love, and unite, and also open our minds to always learning and knowing that we're growing, so we're ever changing. I like that you said that. So what do we need to know about your CCW classes? Where can they find you? What information, any more information you want to give them?
Because I run that hardcore full contact gunfight stuff, people think that what I'm teaching in my classes is about violence, and how to fight back with a gun. Yeah. I spend the majority of my courses teaching how self-confidence and mindset and how the way you carry yourself determines whether you pass or fail the audition that criminal's given you. Because there's the anatomy of a crime is the moment he's aware of you and then the moment you're aware of him. We can influence that moment he's aware of you by the way we carry ourselves. So he looks at you and he says, nope, and he's going to look for someone else. And people aren't aware of how their own choices and dress and demeanor affect whether this happens. I don't want any of my students to go through these experiences because I don't think they're going to do that well, to be honest, because that's something you got to prepare for. You want to learn to fight. It's not going to happen in one day. So I prefer they avoid it. And by building confidence, you get better life, better opportunities, better pay, and better lay. Like, confidence powers everything in success. Confidence we're about teaching confidence and mindset, and we have fun though. It's 8 hours, but it feels like 2 hours. And you see WWDBTV.com is where people go to register. We do classes 4 days a week. And that's a lot. And then we do the mass CCW events every quarter. So we're getting ready to partner with Tough Enough, which is the amateur league for mixed martial arts. Okay. Like you go from Tough Enough to UFC, and we're going to start doing those events together. So I have the big class in the morning, and then watch people beat the crap out of each other at night. And then maybe we'll hit the strip club afterwards. Hey, Larry Flint's Hustler Club wanted us to do. Yeah.
You have an event there. You're going to have an event
because it's First Amendment guys. Yes, we've done it in public libraries. Nobody's done that before. That one is waiting. We're looking at the UFC date for March 3rd. I think we're not final, but we're looking at the Sahara. Okay. They got a new area up top, like the pool area. Okay. Maybe we won't get hailed on. Okay.
So, oh man. Yeah. That was vicious.
But this is it. And you know what? They created a monster with me because I'm going to take this format. I'm basically growing up CCW from a class in a back room at a gun range somewhere on some hard chairs into a Tony Robbins experience. It's that important that you should put maximum effort into the experience for that person, because that may be the only time you have to influence them, and then they're running around with a damn gun. Yeah. So I want to maximize. I'm pounding stuff down their throats, but in a way that they can absorb it. Yeah. In the limited time I have. I wish I had 6 months with each person. Wow. Oh, they'd kill me in the gun industry for suggesting that. But if I make them like me and enjoy and inspire me, they'll come spend that time on their own. Yeah. Because after they finish the class, we're family. Yeah. And we hang out, we do stuff, we go to the hookah lounge, and we tell more jokes. You know how many people sent me joke ideas because they're too chicken to tell their own jokes? They want to send it to me. Oh, he'll say it. Right?
Yeah, but okay. So let me ask you this question. This is kind of like a little bit off topic. Who is like your name 3 comedy legends?
Oh, Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Bill Burr,
Okay.
and Robin Williams.
So now
They're intellectuals. I like intellectual
You like-
comedy.
Okay.
That's what I do. You go to a I almost said Tony Robbins. Robin Williams, he's very intellectual. So is Bill Burr, and so is Dave Chappelle. You just went to a seminar and you didn't know it. That's all I'm doing. Is I remember so much from Dave Chappelle's shows about social issues and politics and perspectives on life. I remember it because it's done in that format.
Yeah.
And so I said, man, if I could get my students to represent or remember things like that, just go with it. Just let yourself go. Let it happen. Teach the principles. Get their attention. Give them something to make that idea sticky and shove it down their throats.
Shove it down.
Yeah, and then they leave feeling fulfilled. And I accomplish what I do. I save not only their life, but I save the life of the person that they might mistakenly shoot because they're afraid. And people who are afraid do stupid things when guns are in their hands.
Yeah, I am so nervous when it comes to guns, but Nephi talks to me a lot about, gun safety. I haven't got there yet. Because, I'm like this peace-loving citizen, global citizen. That's the point of the show today. How can you get a person like me there? Scary
That's
as
what
hell.
I mean. That's what I have a problem with the gun industry.
Okay.
Is going from, I'm scared as hell to, okay, well, then get a gun. No, that's not the solution.
Okay.
First, I want to help you to be a little more confident, aware. I want to explain to you the mindset of a violent criminal so you're not flying blind.
Okay.
And then I might start you off with a blue gun, or a gun might not be for you. You might need to get you some brass knuckles, or you could hide a sword in your weave, pull it out and.
Those fighting days are over, honey. I don't need my nails done.
You keep your nails. I put some razor blades under the edge of your razor.
What the Nephi? What the hell?
I'm just spitballing
What kind
here,
of stuff is that?
I'm just spitballing.
Okay. Anyways, you know what, Nephi? Is there anything you want them to know? Because we're gonna end the show. We're gonna end the show. Anything you want them to know?
Be safe and keep your mind open, right? It's important that we share ideas with each other, and it's okay to be wrong if that leads to us finally being right.
I love that. And I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to thank you for giving me your time and getting here. And I also want to thank you for what you do. I am not clear on everything in terms of gun safety because I haven't taken a class yet, right? But I'll tell you this. Nephi is really right. He's always trying to get me from here to get a gun, but I'm still here because I lack the confidence. And if you lack the confidence, maybe it's not the time for you yet until you have the proper tools for you to carry a concealed weapon. Now, I'm going to end the show. We're going to get out of here. That's it. That's all. Until we meet again, I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.